If you were to ask VCT fans who's the most popular Valorant pro on X, Instagram, and Twitch, basically who has the most followers, they would answer tens for each three. And looking at these stats, they would probably be right too. These numbers are world class, and the majority don't even come close. However, that's not the right answer. It's Benjyfishy, mainly because of his time as a Fortnite pro, where he saw many high placements in different tournaments. Which in turn was kind of shocking to many when he announced that he would quit Fortnite altogether to pursue Valorant. A very risky decision that is slowly paying off since he got to compete in Tier 1 with Team Heretic in 2023. However, because of his fame, fans were quick to state that it was just a Clout Signing, which on paper you can't blame them. Benjyfishy, a Fortnite pro, making it to Tier 1 of Valorant? It can't be. You must be lying. Where's the catch? Even the likes of Ninja and Myth were never able to translate their Fortnite success to Valorant when they tried to compete. Unlike Counter-Strike pros, where we see a handful of examples of them making the jump, the pipeline of Battle Royale gamers to successful Valorant pro is almost non-existent. Almost. So surely he got this spot because of his name and reputation, right? Of course not. In the Tier 2 scene, you will see flashes of him doing well against other top teams, while playing agents like Reyna, who primarily rely on aim diffing their competition. Shoot, he did well on Raze as well, which is an agent that requires a completely different skill set that even Tier 1 duelists struggle to master. But still, you can't blame people for not knowing about his achievements in the lower divisions of this game. Not a lot of eyes are on it versus the attention that Tier 1 gets, especially the EMEA region. Regardless, he grinded Tier 2 and 3 ladder like many other pros that we know today, and actually got a few high placements in the process too. His time in this division of Valorant definitely helped him get the opportunity to compete in his one and only Tier 1 match funded by Riot Games in 2023. It was EMEA's LCQ, and Team Heretics picked England's very own in hopes of making some noise. Unfortunately, they lost to Koi and got eliminated early, a team that placed third in the event despite beating the likes of Na'Vi earlier. His stats also don't look all that great, but we have to remember, he was no longer flexing between two roles like he was in Tier 2. It was just the Sentinel lifestyle for him now. And this isn't a class you ask to top frag either. They are the defensive anchor and flank watcher. And speaking of defense, if we look at his stats as a defender only, then we see he did his job pretty well. He was the only person on his team to go positive throughout this series as one, versus Koi. Also boasting the highest average damage per round on his team too. It's clear to see that Heretics didn't lose this game because of him, but that's typically the case in Valorant. It's a team sport. You can't blame just one person for the overall outcome of a match. If anything, Benji did pretty well for his first Tier 1 game, and his very first round too.
Perfectly timed TP out as well.
Benji gets his first kill, Benji gets his second kill, just straight up dueling from A main here.
He is silent.
Damn, he's actually popping them. He did so much damage to Shados as well.
Just keeping himself busy for sure.
Okay, I mean, Benji said to me that he was going to get an ace on his fast pistol, 2 kills and a good amount of damage. He might even be talking about that there. That's so funny.
And throughout this series, he helped his teammates in the process. On round 15, we see that Benji and Mixwell find themselves in quite the predicament. Basically a 2v5 on B site while they wait for their team to come in from the flank. However, thanks to this trip and cage combo, they did not only hold off Koi in this position, but actually won this round without the help of their other 3 teammates. He allowed Mixwell to do what Mixwell does best, click heads.
Heretics, unless we see some real big hero plays coming out. He's in a good
Mixwell! And again, the man goes nuclear! Man's out of his seat! He can't be sat down, someone give him a seatbelt!
Despite losing on Fracture, they carried some of this positive momentum into Pearl, where he actually top fragged and helped beat Koi on this map. After losing on Haven, Benji and Heretic's season were over for the year, but he definitely proved that he belonged in Tier 1. Unfortunately, the cries of him just being at Clout Signing continue to echo.
Like, they weren't on that trajectory, Benjyfishy in particular, to like win his league or anything like that. And this hurts to say, but I think he has the benefit of massive clout in this instance. And I still think as well he has the potential to be a Tier 1 player. But come on, man, the guy's been playing the game for like a year and he's already in partnerships. Like,
You would have to wait until next year in EMEA's 2024 kickoff to prove all of them wrong. And this time, Heretics will completely revamp their team by keeping only Boo and him. They welcomed the likes of Riens, Wu, Miniboo, and tTer as a temporary sub to the team. Not much was expected of them since it was a young team full of unproven pros who haven't even stepped foot onto the Tier 1 stage. They were in Group A, which we now know was the group of death. They went against the likes of a very good Turkish team in Foot Esports and another young rising team looking to shake things up in Carmine Corp. They would go on to not drop a single map in the process during the group stages and secure a spot for the playoffs, and be even closer to qualifying for Madrid in Spain, where Team Heretics is based in. The only thing stopping them was Na'Vi, a team that had trophy lifters from top to bottom. Sunset was messy, but they were able to win in triple overtime and eventually beat them very handily 13-4 on Breeze. They would go on to lose to Carmine Corp in the finals, but they qualified for Masters Madrid and got to play in front of their home crowd. Overall, during this tournament, he only had a few maps where he top frag, which is more of a testament to how good his teammates were. Miniboo and his big brother Boo were looking like the second coming of Shaq and Kobe, briefly sporting the highest rating in the world. tTer was an assist merchant, setting his team up for success too. Regardless, EMEA's kickoff event showed the world that Benjyfishy was more than just a Clout Signing, that he actually belonged among the best of the best this game had to offer. He even mentions a handful of times that he could have used his status to skip a few steps but refused to. He did it the old-fashioned way and earned his spot to compete in Masters Madrid. However, here, Team Heretics will walk away winless. But it wasn't a case of them just rolling over and getting stomped. They went against the eventual tournament winners in Sentinels first and pushed them pretty far. Heretics actually handed Sentinels their worst loss on the map during the Swiss stage. It was a 13-5 clinic on Sunset. A big part of that was the likes of Riens and Miniboo just torching the competition. Then they almost beat a very good APAC team in Paper X. In my opinion, this could very well be the match of the tournament. Every round felt like a highlight, with some of them having excellent team synergy or just out of this world hero plays. It was also a series where Benjyfishy at one point in time was cooking the competition alive.
It's left up to just a few stragglers, Paper X players. Nice movement at least at the tip. Tap! Not enough! Benji! You dare set your sights or your feet whatsoever near his sight. Just to play anti-flash position, nasty adjustment. Snaps upwards, they don't know where he is. Lost. They're trying to hunt him down! Lost as anything!
And something did not even try to get the trade. He went for a react play into heaven. He's in heaven.
Camped, tagged up.
That's wild. That is wild.
If he's able to recreate this in the future, then I don't know why you wouldn't rename this corner Benjyfishy. After their narrow losses in Madrid, things were actually looking up for Heretics, because this whole time they weren't even playing at their max strength. tTer was subbing in for Wu, since he was too young to compete. However, disaster struck. Wu was unable to play with the team due to visa issues, and Miniboo wasn't part of their original plans during the beginning of Split 1 of EMEA's regional play, since he had exams to finish. So Team Heretics will have to face Fnatic, a team that dominated the game last year and had a whole month to prepare for this matchup. It wouldn't be fair for them to rely on Miniboo to keep going nuclear on such a short notice, since he wasn't scrimming in person due to his schooling obligations. Plus, he would be playing a role that he hadn't touched on stage yet. All signs were pointing to Heretics possibly losing their first 2 or even 3 games because of this situation, and possibly missing out of EMEA Split 1 playoffs. However, Valorant is a team-based game, and you just can't blame one person for a team's success or failure. Everyone in Heretics stepped up their game impressively and dispatched Fnatic 13-4 on their map pip of Icebox, and secured a very close win on Lotus that went into triple overtime. Benjyfishy went crazy here by dropping a 40 bomb in the series as Killjoy, a Sentinel character you don't really expect to get a lot of top frags. His plus 15 KDA definitely helped them get this much needed victory, where they barely qualified for playoffs. It still blows my mind that he did most of this stuff in Valorant while he was 19. I honestly thought he was older. Maybe it was because I was used to watching him play Fortnite during the golden years of Ninja, Nick Merckx, Tim the Tapman, Courage the JD, and Cypher PK. Regardless, Benjyfishy could have stayed in Fortnite as a content creator / pro, but he chose to be a competitor in a different game.
The reason I always wanted to be a pro gamer was because I always wanted to have a job that I enjoyed. So for me right now, it seems pointless carrying on something that I don't enjoy. I've been playing a ton of Valorant recently on and off stream, and it's genuinely the most fun that I've ever had gaming, probably since the Fortnite World Cup or me and Mongo Meet Show playing trios together.
And you can tell that he really likes Valorant to do such a thing. He may have sacrificed his views on his YouTube page, but picked the option that made him feel more happy at the time. So far, Benjyfishy's Valorant career has shown to be a product of hard work. He could have easily cut corners, but being named Rookie of the Season for Tier 2 challengers should have told the haters differently. His very first Tier 1 match told us that he belonged. Masters Madrid and Split 1 of EMEA lets us know that he has a bright future in this game if he chooses to continue. But only time will tell if he's going to be able to lift a trophy in this sport.
I mean, the trippy and broken sets up the reclear.
He set the crowd off.
Well deserved, but